There was a loud knock at the door. My grandmother's heart practically leapt out of her throat. The voice on the other side was speaking German. My grandmother, who only spoke Dutch, imagined this was the end. They had been found out. My grandmother and grandfather lived in Ermelo, a small town in the center of the Netherlands. My grandfather was a part of the Dutch resistance movement. He chose to hide a Jewish family in his home. He did this despite the fact that he and my grandmother had small children of their own. And the family they would be hiding not only would be strangers to them, but also practiced a religion that was counter to my grandparents' own Christian faith. My grandmother opened the door. My aunt, Anita, who was 2 at the time, rested on her hip. The Nazi soldier on the other side, speaking German and using hand gestures, asked for matches to light his cigarettes. My grandmother ducked inside, grabbed a matchbook, handed it to the Nazi soldier, and he went on his way. She closed the door, sat down in a chair at the kitchen table, and shook in terror. In times such as those, all you have is faith. I am awestruck at that level of faith and courage, of the willingness of my grandfather to risk his life and the lives of his family for people he didn't even know. Would I have been willing to do such a thing, knowing that at any time someone could find out and we all would be killed? And what about my grandmother? How was she so strong to support his decision, being a young mother? What kind of faith is that? That kind of faith is what we are being called to cultivate today. During World War II, there was much uncertainty. When will the war end? How much destruction will it cause? How many lives will be lost? Will we make it through it? All of those things are outside of your control. Yet uncertainty, when left unchecked, easily devolves into catastrophizing. This intense level of uncertainty is what we are experiencing today in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is unclear when and how it will end, how much destruction it will cause, how many lives will be lost, and what the world will look like once it's all over. In the face of uncertainty, what we are experiencing currently is a lot of panic, hysteria, stockpiling, hoarding, and rampant fear. We are doing anything we can to feel a sense of control. If only I get enough toilet paper, then I'll be okay. I believe it is during times of crisis that we are called to reassess our priorities, to adjust our beliefs, and to increase our faith in something greater and in the goodness of humanity. Are we willing to acknowledge that each of us play a critical role in bringing this crisis to an end and to transforming how we operate moving forward? This crisis is requiring global cooperation on a scale unseen before. It is asking us to look past petty differences, power plays, political views, and religious dogma, and reminding us that we all have more in common than we care to recognize. We all desire to live a healthy and happy life. What that looks like may vary, but what we are realizing now more than ever is that health is our primary and most precious resource. We are being challenged to steel our faith, to increase our courage, and to be a part of the solution. We must choose love over fear, faith over doubt, expansion over contraction, kindness over hatred, and generosity over stinginess. I know what my grandmother and grandfather would do, and now I get to honor their name and carry on the torch of unconditional love and support. How do we do that? By changing how we see. When you are craving certainty in times of chaos, come back to the truth, which is that you are the only person and situation over which you have control. I'd like to leave you with the words of Holocaust and concentration camp survivor Viktor Frankl. When we are no longer able to control a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Let this time bring out the best in all of us and serve to raise the consciousness of humanity.